Last night when I was reading my book, I brought it with me. Yee, isn't it cute? Yes, it is so cute. I was reading this book last night, maybe about like 4 chapters, and I told myself, okay, put the book down, dude. Close the freaking book and put it down. So I did that, sat at the edge of my bed, stared hard at this book. Then I thought, I do like reading books. Maybe this whole time, I've always enjoyed reading books. But what led me to believe that I didn't like books is at a young age, like, I don't know, dude, 8 years old, 10 years old, grade school era, I was given a set list of books to read over the summer, even during the whole school curriculum session going on during the year. So I assumed that all books were the same, uninteresting, irrelevant, didn't concern me. I had nothing in common with the characters in the book. But now that I have adult money, I feel like I went through a hole, like a loophole of, wow, you discovered a whole world. I jumped through a different world, not a loophole. I jumped through a whole world of experiencing books all over again for what they are to me. Okay, right? So then, I'm still sitting at the edge of the bed. Okay, dude? I'm still sitting at the edge of the bed, staring at my book. I was thinking, why do schools, the school I went to, maybe your school was the same, whenever it was time for summer break, I was given a set list of books to read, and then after I'm finished reading the book, I have to do like a whole book report about it, about what I learned, what the book was about. Are those books, like, how would I word this? That set list of books, I'm sure the school board approves those books, right? Okay. Now my question is, why is it those books in particular that are sent to those schools, to the schools I went to? Are the publishers paying these schools a little bit more so that they can get those books out, pushed out to the students? Are there words in the book that make everyone think the same? Because, dude, can you imagine? Every student received the same set of books to read. And then, of course, if they didn't read it, if they didn't do their book report, then they would get a failing grade. And then that whole failing grade causes fear. And then that's a whole different topic. But I wonder if that set list of books were curated for each individual student, or were they thrown at the students to read, regardless if that student had any interest. Because if students don't have interest in what they're learning, they're not going to excel. They're not going to put any effort into what they're doing, because I don't care if this doesn't interest me. I don't care if I fail. Well, I'm sure maybe deep down they care if they fail, because when you fail, you're going to end up homeless, right? Automatically homeless. But I would wonder, why are there one subject fits all for each student, when obviously everyone thinks the same? Every student doesn't think the same, but they want you to think the same. Who's they? What do you mean they? They. To me, they is the school system, the society we live in, the government we're surrounded by. But you could make they whatever you want to make they. But in this case, that's what they means to me. They want to program students to think the same so that you don't think outside of the box. I feel like I was inside that box for many, many years, because I took what I was told and said, yes, master, I will listen, I will obey. But dude, not anymore. I question everything. Something as simple as a set of books that I hadn't I haven't even looked at a school curriculum, especially in grade school, since I left grade school. But I still think about it because it's interesting. Who creates these set of books? And then does the school board, do they read these books that they have these children read? Do their kids read these books? Do they even like reading? The school board, do they enjoy reading? That was a lot of questions, but all these questions started when I put my book down, stared at it at the edge of my bed. So I was like, dude, I want to talk about this with you. Maybe you have thoughts too on this. I feel like this world is a bunch of NPCs walking around, always in a hurry, doing what they need to do to make a buck, to survive. But in my reality, there's other ways to survive. You don't always have to be in a hurry to get somewhere. And that's where I'm at now in this era, is I think outside the box. I question things that I hear. I question things I've been told. So when I see other people stuck in that box, sometimes those other people, human beings, they don't know that they're stuck because they're in there. So it's hard for them to see themselves because they're in there. That's how I was. I didn't see who I was. I didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know that there's other options besides A and B. I made my own C, D, and E. I like reading. Reading makes me think. I enjoy it. But dude, I mean, for school, I mean, reading kind of sucked because I didn't like the books. But I mean, another topic would be like math, dude. Oh gosh, I'm terrible at math. I got a lot of bad grades in math class. So then I thought, maybe I'm not good at math. I'm going to be terrible at math. I'm not going to survive when I'm older in the real world because I need math. But that's not true, dude. You don't need math. Maybe basic math. But now everything's so digital. I mean, there's no way you're going to get gypped unless you don't check. But that's something different. That's different. But just because something you were introduced to at a young age, just because you didn't like it then, doesn't mean you're not going to like it in the future or in a later time. So it's not the best thing to say, I hate reading, I don't like reading, I hate math, I don't like math. It's maybe this type of math isn't for me. Maybe these types of books aren't for me. But that doesn't mean I'm not interested in them. I feel like as soon as we feel like we lose interest in something that everyone else seems so enthralled with, we become to belittle ourselves. Like, oh, I'm not as good as them because I don't like that same kind of genre. But just because someone's different than you doesn't make them any better. It just makes them different. It just makes you different. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Imagine if everyone was the same. I mean, a lot of times these people I see around in this world are the same. It looks kind of boring. Their lives look kind of boring, but that's me observing from an outside perspective, okay? So I don't know if their life is boring. But when I do people watch, I notice that everyone is the same. They talk the same. They act the same. I mean, we're all human beings, so of course we're going to have similarities. But for the most part, they're the same. They talk like robots. It's as if they have a script that they say before they leave their house in the morning. Then they get that script ready and start their day. But dude, be different. It's okay to be different. Don't be different on purpose, because then that's boring too. Like, don't force yourself to be different. Literally be yourself. Be yourself. That's it. Be yourself. And then discover things that you didn't know you'd like, because maybe you like them now. You never know. Bye.